you must have heard that any person finds peace and happiness when he sticks to his religion, and when he leaves his religion, he is never happy or peaceful. Now, these sayings are not told about bodily religions. This pertains to the religion of the soul. So, when a soul experiences peacelessness, unhappiness, discomfort, discontentment, that is because the soul has left its religion of purity. And when you do something against your religion, when you do something against your core, your basic nature of purity, then you feel discomfort, you feel discontentment. So this is the basic thing, and as a BK, as a Brahmin, you have an experience of these things, that whenever you choose purity of thought, word, act, then you feel you come back to a state of calmness and equilibrium. And whenever you choose impurity, there is internal chaos, there is internal discomfort, discontentment. Now Baba, when Baba is the ocean of knowledge, so when he comes, he tells us these things, and for 2500 years we had forgotten these things. Even in religion or in science, they don't say that purity is your identity and you must be pure. Religion is such that the people who practice, they follow purity, but they don't preach purity. They themselves follow purity. So if there is a sannyasi, he would choose to be pure, but he wouldn't ask you to be pure. So that is something about religion which is very interesting, because you see that if you are giving a teaching and that teaching is not what you're following, so if it is more than what you're following, that's a problem. But even if it's less than what you're following, that's also a problem. Because if you yourself follow purity and you understand that it's important, but you don't tell others, that's a problem, because then only one person, two people, three people, they are choosing it. But what about the others? So those choices are not being made by the others and the many. And this is why there is decline in the spiritual stage of bhagats also. So Baba tells us that now I have told you that your religion is purity, you are a soul, you have got everything to do with the spiritual religion and nothing to do with the bodily religion. So as a bodily religion, you may practice Hinduism or Islam or Christianity or whatever, but that has got nothing to do with your spiritual religion. And the religion of the soul is purity. And until and unless you choose purity, the soul will not be restored to its spiritual strength. So this is something that Baba tells us. And Baba tells us to choose purity of thought, word and deed, to choose purity of body, mind and wealth. And when you start choosing that, it is then that there is so much of hindrance from outside and inside. It's not just from outside, but even our sanskars are impure. So they also start fighting with us when you choose purity. Yes. Let's just talk about purity of mind. So when you choose purity of mind and you want to give good wishes and you want to hold good feelings for everybody, then you see the judgmental you will tell you that this is not okay, and why should I have pure feelings and good wishes for somebody who is wrong. And sometimes, even when you understand intellectually and spiritually that okay, this is the right thing to do, choosing it practically will become a very big challenge, because your sanskar is such that even if you try very hard, you will not be able to emerge those good wishes and good feelings for that one. So this is why it is very important that we understand, and Baba tells us in advance that you will encounter many obstacles. You will encounter many obstacles from the outside and the inside. So be prepared for that. And there was one brother and he said that I came to Gyan for clarity, but now I'm more confused than ever. Because previously I knew who to be rude to, who to scold, who to beat up, and who to be nasty to, and it was so clear to me. But now you people say that you have to have a pure vision for everybody, and that confuses me like anything, because there's so much going on in my mind which is against this, that I really feel tired sometimes. When I think about this stuff, then I go into guilt, and then I think I'm not doing what Baba is saying. So it has created more confusion in my life. So I told him that, when you try to clean something, it doesn't get cleaned first, it gets dirty first. Yes, have you tried cleaning your house in Deepavali? So when Deepavali is about to come, we clean the house. And then what happens is, before the house gets cleaned, for 15 days, it is only dirty, dirty, dirty. And then you are so tired, because cleaning is a tiring process. And in the process, you have to see all that dirt which you shoved under the carpet for so long. So when you see that dirt, you don't like it, but it was always there. You were living with it. So when you understand this thing, then you understand that yes, when I start cleaning myself, when you start emerging the sanskar of purity, then it's not going to be easy. There will be a lot of hindrance from the inside also. And how do you deal with that? So what you do is, you use the powers that Baba has given you. And Baba has given us the power to tolerate. Yes, so even if your mind is in complete chaos, let's say your mind is like not at all cooperating with you, but you have the power to tolerate, and you can say that it's okay, I can manage my mind and I'm fine. So when you move with this power to tolerate, and you don't create thoughts of chaos, so it is in chaos, but you are not adding to it by thinking chaotically or creating this feeling of unrest and discomfort, and using your power to tolerate, then slowly, gradually, these storms that emerge, they will just die down. And you have to tell yourself that this is temporary. This is like something that's emerging in the cleaning process. So let me just handle it with the power to tolerate, and it will go away. And the more you think about it, the more you discuss it, it gets worse. So don't discuss, don't think about it, it's there and it will go away when you use the power to tolerate. So this is something. And then you see, when you start choosing purity of body, mind, and wealth. So we talked about the mind, but even about the body. So you see that we live in a culture where impurity is celebrated. So these days, people will look down upon you if you don't drink, if you don't eat impure food. So people will laugh at you and people will put you down because of that, because impurity is celebrated a lot. And if you are not engaging in acts of impurity, even then you are looked down upon. And there was this one brother, he told me that I am 25 and because I have never had a girlfriend, I feel there's something wrong with me. So I said, no, there's nothing wrong with you. So he said, no, but so many people have told me that it's abnormal and unusual, that now I also agree with them and I feel there's something wrong with me. So you see that we live in a culture where impurity is so celebrated that you have to have a lot of swaman if you want to embrace purity. And Baba says that purity is your religion. You lived 2500 years in a world where body, mind, and wealth were pure. So you remember that time and have that confidence that even if nobody is on the same page with you, whatever you are doing is right. Yes, so Baba says that because I am telling you and I am the biggest authority, so you must listen to me and you must have faith that what Baba is telling me is right. And slowly, gradually, other people will also start celebrating it. But it is when you hold on to that Shrimat, you hold on to Baba's directions, that you can create a culture of purity. But right now we are in a culture of impurity. And you see, there is one sister, she told her father that I want to be a Brahma Kumari sister and I want to live in the center. So the father said, you marry anybody from any religion, you marry anybody from any caste, you marry anybody, may it be blind, lame, I don't mind. You can marry anybody, but please get married. Don't become a Brahma Kumari sister, don't choose a life of purity. So she told her father, are you even listening to what you are saying? How can you say this? Okay, if you told me that marriage is good and I will ensure that you have a good marriage, that is something I understand. But look at how you're talking. You're telling me go get married to a blind person, lame person, get married to any caste, any religion, but just get married. This is not how you speak. And what is so good about marriage? So I said, I don't know, but I cannot handle the societal pressure when everybody tells me your daughter became a Brahma Kumari and this and that, so you get married, anyhow you get married. So, so you see, this is how the society functions, and this is how even people who are very close to you will function. So Baba says there'll be a lot of hindrance, and you see, even if you want to put this across in a court of law or something, even there, people will not side with you that choosing purity is the right thing, or you are entitled to make your choice or something. And there is always this subtle pressure to choose impurity. So Baba tells us that now I have come and I am telling you that purity is your religion and purity is the only method. And when you choose this, and it requires courage, it requires spiritual strength, because when you don't have enough spiritual strength, then what happens is you get influenced. So you're very prone to influence when you don't have spiritual power. And since the influence from outside is huge, so you need a lot of spiritual strength to stick to Baba's directions. So it's not just faith in Baba, but you also need a lot of yoga power so that you can really follow what Baba says, because you may take the first step. First step is easy. You take it out of faith in Baba, you take it out of love for Baba. But then when you start taking that first step and you receive a backlash, and you receive all that, all that obstacle and hindrance that comes from outside, then sometimes you put your foot back again. Why? Because you don't have the power to deal with all of this. But it requires a lot of spiritual power to really pave your way to purity in this impure world. And you see, even when you use your wealth for pure purposes, so you see, everybody will want to, so people will not mind if you throw a party spending 10 lakhs. Yes, where there is impure food served and drinks served and this and that. So they won't mind, and in fact they will felicitate you. They will say, what a grand party, and you're doing really well by doing this. But then if you did the same thing and you chose to contribute to Baba's work, many people will not side with you, because this is an act of Maya, that when you start using your body, mind and wealth on the path of purity, then Maya will cause a lot of hindrance to you, because there is a big momentum of this energy which has been created in the last 2500 years, which is very negative, and it pulls you and it doesn't allow you to take your step in this direction of purity. So, but Baba says that come what may, you have to choose it. And when you choose it, then you, first thing first, your heart will be full of happiness, your heart will be full of peace, and you will have a lot of spiritual strength within you. And that spiritual strength is your biggest asset. And it is my personal experience that on this path of purity, you become such a spiritually powerful soul that come what may, even in the face of 100 storms, you have absolute clarity, you have absolute power to discern, decide, and you have the strength to execute what you have decided on. And it is huge. Purity is a very small step to take for such a big achievement and attainment. And in my personal journey, I have felt that I was a person who couldn't take a lot of decisions myself. But on this path of spirituality and learning from Baba and imbibing Baba's teachings, today I don't feel the need to consult somebody. I don't feel the need to even, I don't have second thoughts about my decisions, and I can discern what is to be done. I take my decisions, I go about it, and I have absolute strength to face all the obstacles that come in my way. And most of the times I don't even mind the obstacles. They're like side scenes which come and go, and this is a very good place to be in for yourself individually. And I have always felt that when you embrace Baba's teachings and directions, then you feel Baba's presence, Baba's light, not just as an energy, but very practically. You can feel Baba holding your hand and also taking you to the right step very physically. And I have seen many miracles on this journey where Baba has been very concretely standing for me, where I felt that, I couldn't see anybody in my support. So these things have made me feel that just one thing, this practice of purity, this practice of having yoga with Baba can give you so much strength. So Baba says that when it comes to choosing purity of food or celibacy or being free from lust, or when it comes to keeping your heart and your mind clean of any negative thoughts about anybody or anything, or when it comes to not using your wealth for any purpose that has an intention of impurity, when you make these choices, you will encounter a lot of obstacles from your sanskars also. It's not just from outside, but also your sanskars, but it is worth paying for. That trouble is worth taking. And the experience you have within yourself, and also the attainment you have in terms of what you become in Satyug, is great, and that attainment is lucrative enough for you to make these choices. So this is something that Baba tells us. And then today Baba tells us about training the drishti. And you see that Baba says the biggest culprit is the eyes. And have you seen that in bhakti there is this mention of Surdas, who blinded himself because he did not want to see, because he thought that eyes are the culprit. So he blinded himself because he said, if I can't see, then I can't think negative. But the thing is, Baba tells us something very interesting, that you don't see with these two eyes, you see with the buddhi, don't you? Yes, you see with the buddhi. And I remember, there was this one incident where there was an old lady in a family. There was a marriage, and in that marriage there was an old lady who couldn't listen, and she was in depression, and she was not even responding to anybody or anything. But everybody was just taking care of her and just being around her, and they were pressing her legs, and they were giving her comfort. So I said, who is this lady? So they said that she is the wealthiest member in this family. And because she is the wealthiest, and because her brain is not working well, so when she dies, she will write her will. She will sign her will for somebody who is the closest to her. So this is why everybody wants to be close to her. So now you see that with the two eyes, what do you see? You see an old lady who is not in control of herself. She's suffering and all that. But how do you see that, this is the wealthiest person and this and that? That is something you're seeing from the intellect. And your intellect, what you hold in your awareness, is very important. And it is your awareness that colors your vision. So when I gave you the course, I told you that chain of thoughts leading to feelings, leading to actions, to attitude, to actions, to habits. But let me tell you the precursor to this chain. So what comes before thoughts? So before thoughts there is attitude. And before attitude, there is vision, drishti. And before drishti, there is smriti. So in Hindi, there are 4 words: smriti, drishti, vritti, and kriti. Okay, so kriti means karma. The first level of karma is action, is thought. So thought comes later. First is smriti, which is awareness. What do you hold in your awareness? And according to what you hold in your awareness, your attitude is set. And according to their attitude, you see what you see. And according to your vision, you think what you think and you behave how you behave. So it is all about awareness. And what are you getting me? It is very simple to understand that what you hold in your awareness, let's say in your awareness, I'm a sister, right? And in your awareness, I'm a pure sister. So what is your attitude towards me? Your attitude is that of respect. And what is your vision? That I'm a good person. And that's why when you think about me or you listen to me with interest and with concentration. So it's not about me, it's about how you think about me or what you hold in your awareness about me. Now let me give you a very simple example. Let's say you met me on the street and I am in ordinary plain clothes, no badge, and you don't know who I am. So would you listen to me the same way that you listen to me now? No. Because that which you hold in your awareness is different. So it is all about what you hold in your awareness. And what is the definition of awareness? Awareness is your definition of who am I, who is the other person, yes, and what's going on. So this is awareness. And everybody has a definite definition of these 3 things. So when you hold in your, and the first question is, who am I? So this is why when you want to change your drishti, first you work on who am I. And when you start thinking about yourself as a soul, then the law says that you perceive as you are. So when you see yourself as a soul, you start seeing the other one also as a soul. Yes, so this is why Baba says, if you want to change your drishti, you want to change your thoughts, you want to change your conduct, first work on who you are. So start thinking very deeply about who am I. And when you sit in meditation and you practice soul consciousness, try telling yourself that I am genderless, I am just a point of light. Do you have a gender? Are you male, female? The body is male or female. And you see, in your 84 births, you have taken male bodies, you have taken female bodies also. So you are basically very distinct from the gender of the body. You are just a soul, a genderless, casteless, religionless, colorless, ageless soul. So when you start thinking about yourself like that, then when you come into interaction with another soul, you don't become gender conscious, age conscious, caste conscious, religion conscious, color conscious. Because you perceive as you are. And Baba says that train yourself to see yourself as a soul, as Baba's child, and see yourself in your original qualities in the mirror of Baba's qualities. Yes, so who are you? You are a pure, peaceful, powerful, loveful soul who has forgotten himself, but you are essentially God's child. So when you start seeing yourself like that, then when you see another soul, you also start seeing them as a pure, powerful, peaceful, loveful, blissful entity, God's child. And when you look at them like that, then criminal thoughts won't emerge. Criminal thoughts are thoughts of lust, basically. So those thoughts don't emerge. And Baba talks at a very spiritual level, but let me tell you that this gender consciousness and age consciousness is also damaging us on many other levels. So, there's this really bright kid, this girl, and she completed her MBA and she's now working in a bank. And in the bank, she's not able to work because she's the only female there. Okay, so she told me that there are 72 people in the bank and I'm the only female. And she said that I cannot work in this place and I cannot leave the job because this is my first job. So I said, who told you that you can't work? And by the way, why is this number in your head that there are 72 males and I'm the only female? Who taught you this? So she said, my mom, my dad, they are day in and day out, they are telling me, how can a girl work within an environment where there are 72 men? So it's getting onto my head and I really feel uncomfortable. So I said, look at them as people. So they are not male or female. You are not there as a female. Were you hired as a female? So she said, no, I was hired as an MBA. So I said, you were hired as an MBA. You were not hired as a female. So why are you looking at yourself as a female and others as male? So they are employees, you are an employee. That's it. Why don't you just clear your head from this? And she said, it is not possible. So I said, start seeing yourself as a deserving candidate for a bank, not as a female. You are a deserving candidate in that department and you are there because you deserve to be there. You're not there because you're a female, so don't let that enter your head. So she said, how do I practice it? So I said, just take this affirmation every day. I'm a deserving candidate in the department. I'm hired because of my deservability, not my gender. And everybody is a deserving candidate. They are an employee. And she said, in 5 days, my attitude changed. And she said, but Didi, I will put it very in a funny way. I also feel like a man now there among 72 men. So I said, okay, if that helps, good. Feel like a man. So you see that's how much our consciousness is affecting us. And you see, there are many people who go to work and then they say, everybody's old there and I can't relate to anybody. But you are not old or young, you are an employee, you do your work, get your salary, come out of the office. And they get so affected, they want to look for a new job because everybody is old there. So this age consciousness, gender consciousness, it is actually harming us on very ordinary and mundane levels also. So Baba says, just start thinking about yourself as a genderless, casteless, ageless, religionless, colorless soul. And just start thinking about yourself as a pure, peaceful, loveful, blissful entity, God's child. And when you start seeing yourself like that, your vision, your drishti towards others will also change, and you will have what we call the drishti of brotherhood, that this is just a brother soul. and you will not mind the gender, the age, or the religion, or any other differences that you generally mind. And then when they don't color your attitude, they don't color your thoughts, they don't color your feelings or your behavior. And your behavior creates your destiny. So ultimately, it's all about you. It's not even about how you behave with them, it's about the karma you create when you behave badly with them, or the thoughts you create when you have a lustful drishti. So just keep your thoughts, your behavior pure, and your destiny will be in your favor. Okay, Om Shanti.